I pressed the damn button. I pressed the damn button. I know I did. Thank you, Nero. Took me Hi everybody, how's your weekend been? How's your day so far? How's it going? Hi Nero, Snowball, Later, Sprout. Alright. I pressed the mic button, eh? I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to chill corner. I'm gonna press the mic button. It did not work. Ah, thanks for the bonk. Okay, now I'm really convinced that the the toggle for the bully is just getting longer, just getting longer and longer. It is possible. I might have pressed it. Yes, now I'm Blob Ross. Okay, so today we're gonna start with one emote. I still need to replace the hype emote that Twitch just gave me. And then we're gonna see. I about okay. Scene fitting for an archer. um, hold on. Where's my stuff is everywhere. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna start with an emote, and then maybe we're gonna go to the splash art, or I got permission from Pops, so we might start with her model today. Just like starting the rough sketches of design. I'm gonna make a few different ones, and then we're gonna see what she likes and so on, and then I'm gonna go forward with that. So yeah, because I need to start doing more stuff. So yeah. You don't have arms? Yeah, I don't have arms. I catch it with my face. Okay, let's go to the art tab. Yeah. Oh, oh wait, I forgot. Yep, I thought so. My XP pen stuff isn't on because my PC crashed the other times, and I did not restart it. Okay, let me just start Greta. Maybe like one of your French. Don't tempt me. I can. I have the artistic power to do so. French blobs. My word. Maybe no, Snowball. Okay? I'm gonna ask you this, right? Do you? What's happening with my chat tab? Why is that all over the place? What's happening with my stuff? My word. Hold on. I need to fix some stuff. That's fine. What's happening? All my stuff is breaking. There we go. I know what's happening. Yeah, it's a rite of rite of passage. Monday Tech Blues. Yep. Now I need to see a drawing of Mona painting Danny Blob in a sexy pose. That'd be hilarious. Okay. All right. So, well, I want to ask you this: do you want a VTuber that's literally just a snowball with a face, or would you like that to be a pet instead? It should be everything should be working out. Yep. There we go. Yeah. Finally. Can I toggle? Yeah, that's the wrong one. There we go. I may need to reach out to you about a VTuber soon. Looks like I'm gonna get commissions, a lot of commissions now. I mean, yeah, because I currently okay. So Mona's model is not a priority at the moment because it's one I'm doing it for free for Mona, because she's the wife, but it's a model I'm also experimenting a lot on. So if you just want a basic model, I can do those things very easily. Also take a while because I need to design it, then I need to rig it and that stuff. But obviously, the more stuff I have to work with, like let's say you already have a design and you just want me to make the design riggable and everything, and I'm rig it, or you have a rigger who's going to rig it for you, and just do the design. I can do that as well. I am flexible. Honestly, I've been contemplating having a VTuber model toggle on stream. Yeah. I think you told me about this, but I still don't know what you like. Do you want your? You're probably gonna want two different ones. So it's gonna be like your ninja, and then probably a snowball, like literally a snowball, or like that's me like a slime ball, but just you're a snowball. Yeah. Ah, hi range, how's it going? Yeah, but ow. Thank you for the fruit. Yeah. I said most of you and design it and get it. Oh, thank you for that, pets. And get the quote. Yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely, definitely. And the nice thing is because we know each other, I don't mind sitting down either on stream or even off stream and just sitting with you and like going through everything and all that stuff. Hear me out. Snowball, but actually the head of a snowman. Yes, it's been so long. How have you been, Range? What have you been up to? I haven't seen you in like forever. What's happening? How you doing? Yeah, so we're just gonna start with an emote for warming up the hand. Is it? Have you seen Mona short with her mic? Go, you will find me in Snowball Park. I still love that drawing I made, or like the artwork. And it was literally just I just took the snowball with your head in it, and I just made like a snowman out of it. I think that was hilarious. I'm so happy I made that. Okay, so let's do a hype. Should I do maybe like a pog thing, like oh that little thing? Been okay. Been busy grinding hard on streaming art. Currently trying to get the courage to pick up a 3D character modeling again. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean everything art related takes time. Fun fact, I made that while waiting on Heathrow Airport. Literally took that selfie in the corner of a store, then used GPT to slap my face on. That's hilarious. Okay. Um. Hmm. Okay. So we're gonna make. Okay. Do we want to make a hype or like a pog thing, like? Do you want to make the facial expressions of like? Hold on. We just change the. We're not gonna animate this one. It's just gonna be normal one. One. Let's see. We're gonna do this. So do we want like an emote that's like a what's that other face that people that like the pog even hold on. I think it's here in Twitch. What is hold on. I need to go into my browser for this. I will find this emote. It's the last thing I do. Where is it? It should be here, right? Hmm. I can't seem to find it. Maybe Twitch removed it. I don't know. Let's just do a hype one so I can swap the hype one out. No limit. But glad it's going well with everyone. That everyone's having a good time. Okay, let us get this one to be hype. Push him down, and then we're gonna have a sign. The effective side on that. Nice. There we go. Can I just say it's just so fun, like doing these streams with you guys. All of you just make it worth it. Just so fun, just having a blast. Do this, get it nice and I'm somewhat symmetrical. Also, I have found myself in a bit of going back to Hell Driver. I've been farming some super credits and stuff, trying to get some of the other stuff. Did a few missions. The things they added in this game is insane. Nice. Button. See how the hype what actually looks like. Okay, so it looks like the okay. I make life difficult. Just do this. There we go. Also, is anyone having problems posting on X? I tried to post my schedule this morning and it just won't. I don't know what's happening. It's like something okay. Sorry. Twitter. I've only really used Twitter ever since it was called X because that's when I really like started afterwards I started streaming. So I am not used to calling it Twitter, which I do believe actually just sounds better, like honestly. I haven't been on it in years, yeah. Sadly, Twitter is like grow I think if you want to grow as a well, it depends because not everyone has like some people still grow on Twitch without having to post on Twitter. But if you want to grow quickly, I think engaging on Twitter, obviously pick your poison. Like if you're just gonna engage with like fun stuff, then do that because oh some of the things I see on Twitter, I'm like, oh my goodness, what's happening in the world? What's wrong with people? Where have the brain cells gone? Crazy. Discord, YouTube Shorts, and Insta. Yeah, that's also one way. But I've met a lot of nice people on Twitter, to be honest. I think in general, like especially the VTuber community, there's a really lot of like nice new communities coming out, which is just so nice. Whether they are nope. Yeah. I agree. The collective brain cells, and I honestly I kind of blame short form content a lot on this because I feel like so many people are just they just want the short form content and it's just rotting their brains. I am trying so hard to stop watching like I try to keep myself okay. I try to limit myself to watching 5 shorts at a time and not doom scroll at all, which is so difficult because I've now established a habit that I need to break and it's just so annoying. Because I feel like my time just gets wasted by like as soon as as soon as I unlock my phone, I'm just wasting my time. And this one, change the mouth. Yeah, I think we all struggle a little bit with that now. There we go. Fine. There, so maybe that's actually be a bit lower, so it doesn't look like the tongue is like about to come out. Or I want to throw myself off a bridge in a game, of course. Got a new layout, and now I have to set it all up. I did so much with my OC setup that I feel stupid. Yeah, I mean, you can always just replace many of the stuff. Maybe if you want to save yourself some time. But to be fair, I feel like it's like redoing, well, not redoing. Well, sometimes redoing things is not bad because you get my words not possible. Sometimes redoing it's not a bad thing because you can sometimes optimize it better than how it was before, and then things just work better. So I wouldn't worry too much about it and just focus on getting it done, just taking your time with it. You got this. Yeah, it's my current mood and my yeah, I know. I think that's the I think the biggest struggle for this year is gonna be oop, that's the wrong I pressed the wrong button. Is gonna be being in the mood for stuff. Getting in the mood, getting the right getting our mindsets correctly. And you know what? It might be a struggle, but it's totally worth it. Getting yourself in the right headspace. Hey, my deadline for this is still tomorrow. Yeesh. Danny, can you okay, Nira, what's the wish? Oh, let me check. I think so animated wise, I don't think I have any animated slots left. But see, I have two slots. Actually, make it three because I'm gonna replace the hype. So I have three slots. No, two. I have two slots open. Yes, I have two slots open. Because I'm this is already taking one of the three. So yeah, I have two slots open. The mood that I now need is just some hunt and just not care about anything. Listen to some mind numbing songs and drink just get it done. Can we get a blob as a SpongeBob bird meme? Oh yeah. Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. Okay, I'll do that. I like that idea. I thought I oh. I'm so glad people like the emote lab emotes as well, especially the ones I made for Mona. Emote lab was when because I was going to make emotes for Mona, and then emote lab launched, and we're like, yes, we're gonna use this just to save ourselves a lot of time. Let me go to the emote, the hype thing again. Okay. Not a single thought behind that. Yes, just hype. Pure hype. Like how I feel for Crimson Desert at this point. Like I'm trying to taper my expectations. I really am, but the game looks so good. I love open world fantasy. I love sci-fi. I just mm, I love fiction, man. Hey, Elijah stuff. How you doing? Oh, thank you for the head pads. I didn't see that. Really got emotes when it launched. Oh yeah, Danny. Yes, I do. I do have Monster Hunter. I have Worlds and I have Wilds. Um, I used to play the OG PSP one back in the day. Oh yeah, we definitely need to do some hunts. I because there's new stuff that came out and I really want to get back to it. I actually made a second character at some point, so I have two characters. Because you can't change your character unless like you have the free token stuff. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna make a new character and level them both. Doing good. Ah, I'm so glad you're doing good. You want to get what gotcha is this? I don't think I need the ears because the ears is gonna be behind the board. Yeah. I'm jealous. I want to play that OG Monster Hunter again, but need to buy the games again plus a new PSP battery. I still own. Okay, so I had two PSPs. I'm actually sad I sold some of my stuff, but I still have my one PSP as well as Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. So I actually thinking about maybe I should do an emulation stream where I play the game. I don't know how many people would watch it, but it's such a classic one. Also, like to just to see to show people like how Monster Hunter was and how much it has improved over the years. It's insane. I think especially the range. Like I'm on my fifth PSP and first P. Actually, I want to get a PS Vita so I can emulate PSP games on it because I heard it does it so well and it's just so easy to do. Because getting a refurbished PSP is quite difficult. Ah, like I know you would watch that, Reg. But Freedom Unite was such a blast, man. And beg to be uncalled, hear your genuine reaction. I mean, okay. Hmm. Sorry if I'm seems like I can't real if I don't understand what you're saying. It's because my brain is just struggling these past few days. But yeah, no, I will definitely try to show. But like, I want to play those games. I'm used to playing OG Monster Hunter games, so yeah. You know what I would? You know what we do, right? You didn't need the disc to play together. So what you do is you have one disc that you can share between two players if you have two PSPs. And then what you would do is right every time you need to load, you just pop the disc in. So you swap the disc in and out as soon as you load it in, and you can literally play co-op on one disc. That's that's how my friends and I would play the game co-op. We would share one disc between 2 to 4 of us. It was the funniest thing to do, and it worked. It actually worked. I do think actually the emulated version can be played co-op. I did see a thing about it. I'm just trying to find my reference image. I have the colors correctly. Ah, here we go. Man, I remember the first day I got my PSP, my first PSP. It was a white one, and my because my dad went to the UK to study. He's a dispensing optician. So he went to study optometry there as well. And he came back and he gave my brother and I both PSPs. My brother took the black one, I took the white one. And they both had those we had this like rubber casing around it to protect them from most damage. That didn't really last long because those rubber get got dirty very quickly. But I took that thing everywhere I could. Because my parents also we would drive around a lot, like visit family and stuff. So that PSP was like the best like thing to just keep me like because I can spend my time doing stuff in the car instead of just sleeping the entire time. And I remember one of the first games my dad got us on the PSP was Monster Hunter 2. So just before Freedom Unite as well, I think we got what other game was it? We had a few games, a few cool games. One of them was like a racing game. I think it was Juiced Eliminator. And we also had Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. That was a good one. Um, what else one did we have? We had a few good ones. But yeah, dude, the PSP was my childhood. I don't think I've ever finished Freedom Unite story to be honest, like completely. Where like in the end you fight Fatalis. I don't think I've ever finished it. PSP, Wii, PS2, PS3, and then, yeah, for me it was the PlayStation 2, then it was the PSP. Um, I first got the PlayStation 2, then my dad got us PSP for the road. Then after because we had the PlayStation 2 for so long, and then after I think as soon as we my brother went to high school and I was actually no, we were both in primary school just before my brother went to high school. We both got Xbox 360s. So we went from PlayStation to Xbox, and then only like at the end of high school. No, actually no, at 10th grade I got my first laptop. And I could play some games. I could play like Warframe on low settings. It was not really meant to play games. My dad was like, "No, the PC is not for games; it's for work." And I'm like, "Yeah, you say that now." The only consoles I have now, I play on is PS5 and Switch. I think out of all the consoles I own, the only ones I didn't buy was PlayStation 2 and Wii. Yeah, so only ones I didn't buy. Actually, well, I sold my Xbox 360. I deeply regretted it, and then I bought one again because for the Connect stuff, which was so fun. Um, but yeah, I still wish to this day I haven't sold those stuff because I had so many games, so many things. It was like my biggest regret, and especially because I think like some of my games that you cannot get them on PC at all. So it's like Fable 2, Fable 3 doesn't work on PC anymore as well, unless you get a crack version, because that's the only thing that works. Because they circumvent the stupid DRM that Microsoft had in place, which they have not removed from the Steam version. But given the fact that emulation exists, I think it soothed it a little bit. Yeah, I think the only game I regret selling was yeah. I agree because PSP games are just so goated, man. One of my other favorite ones was I think it was Secret Agent Clank, which was so fun. It was literally just like Clank being an agent. and then you go because you have. I think Ratchet was framed for something, and then you as Clank have to go and like prove his innocence. Bro, bring back some of the OG game ideas and make them just as scuffed as how it. Yeah. Hey, that game was difficult. Secret Agent Clank was a difficult game. I really struggled with that one because you had to be like it was. I think one of the most difficult Ratchet and Clank games I played was the that one because we owned Deadlock on the PC, and then we had Size Matters and then Secret Agent Clank on the PC. None of this HD textures. Yeah, like I'm all for a pretty game, right? But it has to perform well, and that's why I'm kind like that's why I am I'm optimistic about Crimson Desert. Game just looks so good, but it play like not just like visually, it performs well, and the gameplay itself looks amazing. Yeah, and I genuinely feel like we are going somewhat backwards with games. Like there are games that are coming out that are still great. Like, I think the independent and indie scene is doing very well. So I'm very happy with that. Yeah, I think that is where like the future of gaming is going to be because AAA is just letting everyone down. Because indie game studios have shown they can make AAA quality games and just absolutely dominate because they just make good games. They don't look at, oh, well, what can we do for monetization? What can we do for this? What can we and shove a bunch of stuff down your throat? No, it's literally just let's make a good game that everyone can enjoy, or not everyone, but that our audience that we want that we're targeting can enjoy. Because I also don't feel like the thing about where people trying to make a game appealing to as many people as possible is not it's not good because with everything in like any form of media, you have a target audience and you need to cater to the target audience, not to your non-audience. That's something we've just learned in business studies. That was like business 101. Know your target audience. Yeah, AAA going invested with corporate BS and killed Gap. I agree. And I'm hoping like because I love Battlefield and when Battlefield 6 released, it's so good. But I do feel like they've misstepped a lot, and especially like with it feels like they are not getting the budget or support that they need. So now they're like only giving us like a few maps, like two maps a month, oh, two maps a season, but at the beginning and the end of a season. Like just I would if I was Battlefield, I would have reworked all the old maps and used that to just pump in more maps because the older maps are just so good. They're so good maps. I don't know why they thought, okay, we have to continuously making new maps. Just bring the old ones back that everyone enjoyed. Like especially the ones like Caspian Border, all those ones. Like just even Operation Metro was so good. But that's just me hoping. And I mean, this is the feedback that like every big YouTuber has also given them. Like, stop trying to rewrite the entire formula and just use what works, because that's what everyone misses. And I'm also glad, like with let's take Monster Hunter as a good example as well, where Capcom has learned their lesson with prioritizing for optimization. Because yes, the lead developer or the director said that his vision is always to have like to use whatever hardware is available to its fullest. But I do believe he has learned his lesson in terms of prioritizing optimization along with it, because they've said that they cannot. Okay, just for some what's that backstory? Capcom for a long time has focused first on console optimization and then PC, but that has resulted in a lot of PC neglect. So now they're going to swap it around where they focus on PC and then console because it's easier to optimize for console after they've optimized for PC. That makes sense. Yeah, but I think that's not the only thing. That was one of all the many issues uh that the game had. And it still is not running perfect. Like I still can't get 60 FPS on 1080p on a 3080. Like what's up with that? Without frame gen. It's so dumb. I maybe get like 45 FPS and that's not even on the highest settings. So I genuinely believe that, and then I get a game like Crimson Desert where the game apparently runs perfectly. Yeah, but they are fixing it, and they said even though the final update has released for the game, like in terms of before the new DLC comes out, like the expansion, they are still committed to optimizing the game. So yeah, it's only a matter of time now with Monster Hunter because Capcom has their priorities right. I mean, have you seen how well Requiem performs? Resident Evil 9 is on the same engine as Monster Hunter, and it's stunning how amazing the game looks and runs. Like Mona can run the game almost at max settings. Hey! Hello Raiders, how you doing? Hi, Moister Oyster, the best boister. I love that name. That's amazing. That's an amazing name. Oh my goodness. Let me give you a shout out. Hold on. I need to set up an automatic shout out thing with Nightbot, but I am still new to that whole setup and I am struggling. How you all doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Are you? Let me get. Hold- Are you an axolotl? Hold on. I need to look at. I love the like. I look at the artwork. I'm like, damn, this looks good. Damn. What is your design? I love it. Yeah, you're a lot of. Oh yeah, so you're an axolotl. Are you like a specific type of axolotl? What are you? I'm blue. You're blue, and we're just say yes. Axolotl. Okay, nice. You are an axolotl. Okay, got it right. Nice. Yeah. Blues unite. I am Danny. I am a slime. Um, I don't have a raid video to share yet because I've not been streaming for that long. Um, but hi, I'm an artist, animator, and I also play games occasionally. Um, yes. So, want some backstory? I am a slime that was picked up by a princess called Mona Mouse of a different kingdom called Maple Haven. I am her best friend and slash advisor, and IRL her husband. Yes. How y'all doing? How was stream? You were streaming. What were you streaming? Some art as well. Yes. Nice. Artists that unite. I am currently making my emotes, as you can see, because I have yeah, adorable slime. Oh, thank you, thank you. I took a lot of inspiration. I think it was one of the longest things I like struggled to figure out, like what to design, because I looked at so many different like references. You think, oh yeah, but so simple. No, sometimes the simple designs are the worst to figure out because you still need to make it appealing and still feel unique. It's so difficult, man. But I took a lot of inspiration from Slime Rancher, and I think what other ones? But so I think Slime Rancher was the biggest one. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Mona. That's Mona. She uses a blurb. I thought of anime. Yes. Oh, that's the other one. Yes. I also Rimuru. Rimuru is also one I referenced a lot. So yeah, I referenced. I think those two are like the biggest references I used in terms of like just figuring out what to do with my design. But I love my slime. So cute. So small, cute, just little blob. Yeah. The jellyfish, right? Another jellyfish. Yeah. The jellies unite. But thank you so much for the ride. I really appreciate it. I was thinking, Max, that would be amazing. I think that's one thing I'm trying to figure out because I also make VTuber models. I am still new to it, so I'm not I take a while to make them. But I made Mona's model, and I'm currently working on her newest model as well, and I'm going to work on another YouTuber streamer's model called Puppet. Let me yeah. Back when yeah. I mean, you can always make a thing where that still happens. So you can make like a transition, and then it like during the transition your model changes shape, or you just like, swaps the models while an animation plays. It looks like it's your model changing shape. Maybe I can make a PNG. Yeah, you can actually do that as well. I mean, that's a nice thing I love about VTubing is so many options on how to do things. I've recently saw how people make a VTuber that can go chibi without making a separate chibi model. So they just deform the model in such a way that it shrinks down and becomes a chibi. And I was like, that's brilliant because it saves you so much time and you keep the design. Oh, sorry. When transforming is going to be like the guy from Ikanto that shapeshift. Just spin. Yeah, just spin. Keep it simple. Just go for it. Oh my goodness, I need to get something to drink. I hate it. I don't know if anyone has this problem, but you forget to drink enough water, and then the next moment you just choke on your own spit. It's not nice. There we go. Anyway, how is your Monday? Like, how did you stamp art? Did you have an art tax? Do you want to share? If you don't, it's fine. I've been recently introduced to art tax. I am, yeah. I know some people like if some people work on artwork that like the other can't share because it's like a form of NDA with like the streamer or creator they're working with and so. Been doing some commission like this on stream. Hey, nice. I need to open my commissions stuff. So yeah, I am still working on my commission page. I'm doing it on cards. I'm technically am open for commissions in the sense of like people can DM me and we can discuss things and so on. I'm still very I think the thing I'm struggling with the most is pricing. Because I think it's a mixture of imposter syndrome and just not knowing what to ask for what. Hey, hello, Dave. Dave with the 7 stream. Watch streak. Let's go. Yeah. The first is like with the model I'm making for Puppet. Um, I didn't give her a price, so we're just like, okay, I'm gonna make it. This is also she's also a dear friend of mine. I kind of felt a little bit bad like having to charge her, but she's like, no, she refuses not to pay. So we are on the thing of I'm gonna make it, and then we're gonna discuss the price afterward. So because I still feel like I need to, in a sense, prove myself. So I need to make more stuff so I can just say like, listen, okay, I have done all these things. This is how much I can ask because I did this. That makes sense. Also, I like your ferret. What's it? Digit we the ferret. Funny. I don't know. I think that's also something I've seen a lot of artists struggle with, especially when they start commission, figuring out the price. That's my struggle at the moment. Yeah, we're just chilling here, having a good. Also, if you have any suggestions for an emote, feel free to shout it in. I think after this one, I'm going to do a SpongeBob bird pick one. Let's see if it works. Yeah, the pricing is like how long it takes you to finish or whatever you feel like. Yeah, I know. I, I knew. I think also depends. It depends on like how detailed the model and everything. How many toggles do they have? How many design elements does it have? Oops. I see. Okay. Yeah, so I think I just need to figure out, okay, because that's why I'm like not I'm not fully open for VTuber commissions. I'm mostly just doing VTuber commissions for friends at the moment because it allows me to experiment and get my workflow ready. And then as soon as I am confident in my workflow, I know exactly like what steps I take and all that, all those things. I think they'll be a lot easier for me to give a proper pricing structure. So yeah, I think it's not a bad. I think it's I think that's a good way to go about it. Saturated. Nice. Oh, I love this little guy. Save this real quick. Did I put those? I need to. I keep forgetting to save at the start. I'm like, every time I notice, I'm like, oh damn, please don't crash. Yes, yes, take care. Yes, do your after stream care. And then Snowball, my dear friend Snowball, give him a shout out as well, always says, take care of your ass. ASC, after stream care. Yes, go do your thing. Have a good, just, yeah, have relax, break, do what you need, man. Do what Hi, Dave. Huh? What do you mean? Oh, Mona's sitting next to me. She's like looking at this reference. She's like, "Did you steal my lipstick?" It's dearest friend Snowball. He's always a great supporter. Love you, Snowball. But yeah, he's the one who told me the thing about taking care of your ass. Okay, I'm gonna export this one, and then we're gonna go to the next emote. Awesome. And thank you again for the raid. Hope you have a wonderful day further. Why do you have lipstick? It's actually the inner, so the rigging of the mouth. This is the reference image. Oh, this is the, I get my wording right. This is the model in Krita that I just dragged in for reference. So it has the layer for the mouth and everything. For those that are wondering, is why do I come back to Danny having lipstick? It's not lipstick, it's my mouth, technically. So basically, so I have the mouth set up like this, and then I just moved the mouth inside like the lips, and that's how I rigged it. Yep. I just want to see something like this. I can't do it that way. Oh, so that's how I paste the reference image. Okay, so I can do it. Or you know. Okay, let me just get a reference for that SpongeBob pic. Let's hope Google doesn't traumatize me. Oh, thank goodness. I was totally expecting Google to just absolutely wrecking my day. Damn it. Copy. There we go. I need to figure out how I'm gonna do this as a slime. When I first wanted to start streaming as a VTuber, I know I wanted to rig stuff myself. Yeah, rigging is a whole other beast. But design, people are like, oh, VTuber ones look so expensive, especially custom ones. But if you know how much time goes into one, you completely understand it because it's the design itself can take months. Then the rigging itself can take months, depending on how much design elements needs to be rigged. So my initial assessment for Mona's model would have been June. It's already March. But also a lot of stuff happened, so that kind of put things on the back burner. Yes, it's very time consuming. But also, you don't. I think my brother did very well. So instead of asking the lump sum like straight up, you can pay it off over the time it's taking to make the model. So like you have the lump sum price, but you pay it off in like increments. So that's one way of doing it. We need to figure out how I'm gonna do this with the slime. Hmm. Any suggestions? Hmm. I mean, I can make it maybe instead of the picking one, we take inspiration from it and just make it like a gullible slash dumb emote. I think that's one will work well. Hmm. Because if I'm going to do the yeah, you can just doodle and see how it looks for yeah, I think that's something I'm gonna try and do. So because I'm gonna have to make my slime a jelly bean essentially. Hmm. Hey, look, talks. How you doing? How's your day? How was your weekend? Your weekend? A good one. Have a good time. I'm alright, just chilling and working on that medic still, procrastinating. Ah, I see. The good old procrastination. I feel you on that one. I've been slowly trying to procrastinate less by removing my phone from me. But I just, but it's like taking my phone, like, no. I have a problem where if I hear the ding message on my phone, I like instinctually open it to see what's going on. I need to stop that. I think because I am okay. I suffer, and I have figured this out now, like a while ago. But I suffer from paranoia. It has been getting better in the sense of like I'm not that. I wouldn't say I'm like that bad where I, like freak out about everything, but it has made my brain in a way that I will always think of the weirdest scenarios and try to avoid them as much as possible. It has been getting better. I've been managing it a bit better. But yeah, that's something. But I'm glad it's going well. How is the animatic going, like in terms of progress? Nah, valid. Yeah. I'm just doodling this thing to figure out because it was suggested by our good friend Nero. Welcome to the Paranoia Anxiety Club. Yeah, good progress. I finished the mask in Masked Man's Camp. Okay, I'm currently working on some backgrounds. Nice, 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 nice. Progress is being made. Always good. Okay, I think this actually might be. Oh, I'm doing something wrong. Actually, I am making this more. There we go. Okay, maybe I can still keep in the lip thing. Currently working. Yeah. I'm so glad when people's like projects and things are like, here we go. Let me just move the other way. I could have to zoom out constantly. The doodle reminds me of something else. I don't know what, and it. I hate that as well. I hate it when I remember something and I'm like, wait, what is this? Why is it reminding me of something? I can't put my finger on it. It's at the tip of my tongue. What is this nonsense? No, I hate it. Hold on. So it goes down to focus. Goes down, then goes up the lip like this. Okay, so this actually is okay. I see. Can't have the smile thing off my slime. Not gonna work then. Yeah, that's better. Oops. I just realized now what I'm doing wrong. Because the lip thing has to go like this, and then this has to connect to like this. Okay. I made the lip a little bit too thick. Let me just down further. probably have to just do a line art over this. Ish. Damn circles. There we go. Yoop. This looks very cursed. Guys, see, so I got the beak wrong as well. Has to go like this. Bigger. I don't have a nose, so I can't use the SpongeBob nose. What is this emote coming? My word. Oh, you know what we can call this emote? We can call this a chicken emote. So if I'm ever running away from something, people can use this. There we go. I- I'm enjoying myself too much with this. This is hilarious. Oh my goodness, I love this already. Oh, I love this. Okay, let me just do clean up because this is relatively. Oh my word, this is funny. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy the eye here. It was already this like shape. Same with this one. Because they're already relatively. I can just this. Wait, hold on. I have done something wrong. Yep, I have. Just your friendly reminder that if you guys do want to change, it's like a change in music, feel free to ask and I'll deliver. Yes. Yeah, I think the songs are looping. Yeah. I know many people have things against the French, but if there's one thing I can give them kudos for is they have very nice vibe music. I'm kidding. We don't discriminate against the French mostly. Also, I don't actually, you know what? No, I was in France. I do know why some people do not like the French. Again, like the most of the French people I came into contact with were very nice, very friendly. I love them, so sweet. And then there were a few of them who were just yeah. But to be fair, that's like in every country. I don't think you have a country where everyone is nice. And if they were, that'd be very sus. Looking at this is hilarious. Oh, you're funny. I gave up. I can't seem to find where I saw this before. If it's another deja vu dreaming BS, I swear. You probably saw it somewhere and it was like either on an ad or something. I've had it so many times. I'm like, listen, I know for a fact I've seen this thing. And you know what it turned out to be? A random ad on a car. Like, figuring that out, I was like, oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Or like a game. It might have been like some like a YouTuber who made like a meme thing. Could I add legs? But I cannot trust my memory because since I was little, I had moments where I would dream What will happen in the future? And at some point, stuff got mixed up. Yeah, dreams can be very weird. There's one way to put it. Should I add legs? What do you guys think? Should I add legs or no legs? True. I was just gonna do this. I think that works. It's a bit bigger. Then more of the detail will be visible on the emote. Hey Muse, how you doing? I keep it slimy, leg free. Ah, okay. Yeah, it looks funny without them. Okay. No legs it is. My slime doesn't need leg day, for he has none. Yeah. How you doing, Muse? How's your day? Having a wonderful day. For once, I'm up early enough to see your ship. Wait, what's the time by you? I wait. You know what would be cool if there was a redeem to see the like you can type in like time zone and you can see the time zone of the viewer. That'd be cool. That gives you like the exact same like the exact time and stuff it is by you. That'd be cool. It's 6:20 a.m. Oh my goodness. So you are a solid. You're s- you're 7 hours behind. Holy crap! My word. Ah, hi. With some coding, I think I might. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's impossible thing to have. Like, it's just like a thing where it just takes the time from like your PC or your browser, and it just displays it like, oh, this user is currently in this like it's currently this time at with this user. I mean, there might be some like uh cons we're not thinking of with that type of thing, but hey, I think it would be cool. And luckily, I stream till I think well, I stream at my time. It's still 5, so for you, yeah, I set the alarm early because I need to read some chapters to write a paper that's due at midnight. Oh, I decided to get up early rather than stay up late. You know what? That's actually a lot better to do. I've realized that staying up late, unless it's something that's really like really due like the next morning, not worth staying up that late. But if you have the time to do it, like just go wake up early, get on it early. You have a fresh brain. You can see the things you either made mistakes on, you can change, or if it's things you still need to get to, be like, oh wait, maybe I can do this instead. You just have a fresher brain to work on stuff. Not exhausted. You're not tired. I personally like that way of doing. These past few days, I have not done it. I need to get back to do habit. There you go. The darker side. Because I've gotten in the habit of taking my dog for walks in the morning, but these past few days have just been a bit busy, and then I just go sleep like late at night. It makes me not be able to walk the doggo, so I need to fix that. Ah, I got bonked. Thank you for the hydrate, Nero. I need to get something to drink. I don't have something with me at the moment. Thank you, Mona. Hmm? I do have a whatever. I don't mind. Get some coffee. I don't need coffee. I don't really drink coffee, so my body doesn't really need it. I grew up on tea. Well, very specifically, I grew up on the South African tea called rooibos. So the South African rooibos tea is a South African, like it, you can only get it in South Africa in terms of like the um the herb. It's a caffeine free tea. So some people don't classify it as a tea, but it is a tea. It's basically a herbal tea. Um, so you can only grow it in South Africa in the Cape. Sleep, sleep, go sleep. Oh, I see. I rarely drink coffee or tea, so when I do, I get lots of energy. Yeah, low key might need some to get. Yeah, too much mumbo jumbo. Tea is tea. Yeah. So, but it's a tea that you can. So it doesn't have any caffeine in it, so it's basically a good decaf option. It tastes very nice. A very nice taste. You can drink it warm, cold, even my brain with milk, with honey, all that stuff. My brain buffered for a second. I do think they do sell rooibos overseas now, but I'm not sure how much it costs overseas. It might be expensive because it's an export or import for you guys, but it's really nice. It's a really nice tea. It also has a lot of herbal, like it has a lot of health benefits as well. So yeah, I recommend it if you can get it. It's relatively cheap here in South Africa, again because we grow it here. I drank an energy drink in the morning, and now I'm onto coffee. I'm too sleep deprived for this. So I swear. Ish. Get some sleep, people. You need to sleep properly. It's also getting good sleep. Also, is keeps you like younger. That makes sense. You age quicker if you don't get enough sleep. So please get your sleep. You need your sleep. Sleep is good for you. Also saying this because Mona is tired and she's trying to do stuff. I'll be a grandfather by the age of 30 at this rate. Huh? Yeah. Funny enough, okay, so this is not because of lack of sleep, but uh I have silver fox gene. If any of you know what that means, it means that I get gray hair very early. I am only 26 and I already have gray hair. I'm gonna be my hair is gonna be silver by the time I am 40. It's isn't it like 2 p.m. for you? Yeah. Oh my. Yes, it's one. Yeah, 1:30. I Nero. Like, I must say that's a fun, cool thing. That Nero, like we are in the same time zone, even though Nero's in the north, we're in the south. It's always fun seeing having people like in the same country, same time zone. I did for oh my word. Hey, if you got okay, so interesting thing with sleep because I had to look this up as well. If you get 3 to 4 hours of deep sleep, proper deep sleep, like you are sleeping like a rock, um, then you'll actually be more refreshed than someone that had very light sleep for 8 hours because it's the deep sleep that matters. But if your brain is constantly busy with stuff and you're not getting that deep sleep, suffer. Doesn't matter how long you sleep. Also, sleeping too long can also mess you up as you do sleep in cycles. Make sure that you don't oversleep your cycles. My word. I sleep like a boulder. I close at night and open them at day. No dream, just transition. That must be nice. It's like fast tracking. It's like you have like the game wait timer of Skyrim. I just thought of something. I wonder if there are people that even if they are in deep sleep, they still feel the passage of time in their sleep. So it's not like most people like as soon as they like talk into deep sleep, they like just wake up the next morning after having a dream that's like felt like it just passed by instantly. They like feel the entire duration just go by. If you sleep for hours, it felt like you slept for 8 hours. I missed something. When my brain connected the dots that sleep deprivation is literally a wartime torture tactic, which meant I was torturing myself but not sleeping. It helped to start sleeping. I mean, if that's the way you realize it, that's hilarious. Yeah, because if you don't get enough sleep, you start hallucinating, and your brain is like just struggling. Because yes, your brain doesn't completely turn off when but the part of your brain, I think it's more like the awareness and like the things that keep you aware and alerted. That needs rest because if it's like a part of your brain that can get overworked and overstressed, which just causes you to have problems. Have any of you seen Markiplier's series Edge of Sleep? I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing I've ever watched, but it was interesting. It was definitely something interesting to watch. Of like, what would like a well, obviously it's also a bit like science fiction and stuff like that, but it was a very interesting concept of like, what will happen to you in a world where you are not allowed to fall asleep because if you fall asleep, you die. Like that was a very interesting concept. A bit weird in the like the premise of the story in terms of like what happened and what's happening, but it was interesting. I've heard of it, but never saw it. I wouldn't. Hmm, I wouldn't say to go out of your way to watch it, but if you are curious, I would say it's not. It like I said, it's a very interesting watch. I think it's like everyone will get like will feel differently about the series. It is a very weird one, so yes, your mileage may vary with it, but I still thought it was an interesting oh series. It was like a short series. I actually don't know if they're gonna do a season 2 or not. Well, hey, my chat is broken. What's happening with my chat? There we go. Now it works. It's happened to me a couple times, especially when I don't shower. I remember it felt like ants were crawling on my skin, and I saw little dots in the corner of my vision that looked like ants. Mind you, I'm a very clean person, so I was going crazy thinking there were bugs in my part. Also, isn't the fact that if you don't sleep for a week, you or so you die, or am I just? No, actually, I do think you die if you don't sleep enough. I do think it's like an actual thing. So please, people, get your sleep, please. It's really scary how like lack of sleep can affect you. And I was thinking an experiment done with a guy that didn't sleep for X amount of days and got really messed up. Yep, one of the Guinness Book World Records, where a guy that didn't sleep for like I think almost a week, and they banned that because it's just too dangerous. Ish, Russian sleep experiment sounds dangerous. Ah, ads. Yeah, it's the 11 days one. After you done it, they banned it because it was just too dangerous. Ah, I see. So the Russian one is the creepypasta. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did do experiments related to that, given what the Soviet Union did. Soviet Union is messed up, man. Look at this wonderful emote. I got some creepy pictures, so I don't know. Maybe it was just used to scare. It's possible. Just leave the highlights up, not the highlights. I like this. I know there's a movie about people that couldn't sleep for some reason. Someone on YouTube talked about it. Yeah, I think it might have been the thing about the age of sleep thing. Not sure. Yeah, I think this emote is good to go. One thing that is annoying when I went to sleep, right, we went from sleeping 3 to 4 hours a night to 6 to 8. I didn't feel better right away, so it felt pointless. It took a few days before my body. Yes, actually, that's exactly. So if you train your body to sleep 3 to 4 hours, you will tend to what's it? Your body will adapt. But most people that sleep 2 to 4 hours do it 2 to 4 hours at a time a day. So 2 times a day. You don't just sleep 3 to 4 hours and then you're done. You usually sleep multiple times a day so that you still have that like it just keeps you fresher that way. A lot I think Thomas Edison and those people. There was a few other inventors. They had the same type of sleeping schedule where they would sleep for a few hours, wake up, do stuff, sleep for a few hours, wake up, do stuff, and so on. And that's how they were very productive because they still slept less hours than the average person at a time, but because they only slept like 2 hours at a time, they were fresh every time they had to do work. But I would not recommend it because you will suffer for 2 weeks. And only after the second week, your body adapts. But going from 4 to 6, I think one person said for men specifically, 6 to 7 hours is good, and for women, it is 8 to 10 hours. It's like the good times for them to. Okay, nice. Yeah, dude, I love this emote now. So cool. I'm gonna upload it. Hold on. Okay, so I need to remove hype. We just quickly upload these emotes on Twitch so we have them. And then we're gonna do hype. I love it. It can be used for multiple things. If you run away from something, if you mock someone, or if say something, yeah, it's a great one. This emote has the same name as one already in your library. Oh, kind of called hype. Oh, they're immediately approved. Awesome. So I think if you guys refresh your page, they should be up and ready. Let me check real quick. Yeah, let's go. Nice. Okay. Mhm. Okay, so I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. So I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna think what we're gonna do next. If you guys want to watch me continue doing art, let me know. Otherwise, we can always go over to a game. I was thinking maybe going over to Fable, or we can even do Monster Hunter, whatever you guys want to. So if you guys want to, you can discuss it in the chat while I'm taking a break. I will be back in a few minutes. Hello, I'm back. This OBS. I'm clicking on the thing. I do not working. Okay. So, um, I was just seeing how the Spotify thing was freaking out for a second. Okay. So, do you guys have any suggestions or preferences? Otherwise, I was thinking maybe I can continue on with the splash art that I was working on. Um, and get that colored. Or if you guys want to watch me play games, we can do that as well. I usually play multiplayer games, so you're more than welcome to join. Um, yeah. Yes, it's already here. I was surprised as well. They could instantly approve, which I am very, very happy with. Yes. You know what? Maybe I want to continue on arting because I'm not looking at the splash art. I'm like, I really like this piece. I really want to finish it. You know what? Let's continue on with some arting, and you guys can let me know if you guys want to. Mine takes days to get it. Dude, I don't know what it is. I think it's weird. It's very weird when things get approved. I mean, they hated me. I couldn't get my lick emote approved. I had to remove one of the ears because I thought it was a teardrop of fluids. But now it's a bubble reference from basically yeah, I had to refresh. Yes. Okay, go back to the art tab. Yes. Okay, so this I did the line art a while ago. Out of the way for now. So I did the line art. I think it looks amazing. Happy with how the line art came out. think I'm gonna start coloring. I think that's something I'm gonna start doing now. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just don't know how I'm gonna go about coloring. These are the background mountains. Wait, where's my color ref? These are the type of colors I want. Okay, I might need to get some references for the coloring. I've decided to give up with color art. There's so much to draw and color is confusing, so I'll stick with grayscale, which I also enjoy. You know what? That's completely fair. I know the struggles with. That's one thing. See, I want to improve my color art. So actually, I do have a reference that someone posted on Twitter. Was it Twitter? Hold on. I will find it now. Here it is. It's a rendering reference. Um, and I think please tell me they do have the artist name. They don't. Why do I need to? If you know who the artist is of this, please let me know so I can add it onto like the file name so I didn't remember who drew this. But I like these references because they give you a very nice like step overview of how they do coloring. And nice thing is like lot of these renderers, they render with very minimal line art. So they have line art for some of the stuff, and it's usually like they still keep some of the messy line art that they had, which is very nice. So I like this. It's nice to have a rendering reference, especially if you have a specific type of way you want to render it. Why is my Krita breaking? There we go. I'll just put that as a rendering reference, just like for colors and like highlights and stuff. Um, yeah. But yeah, coloring is a whole other beast. Like knowing your values, knowing your all the other stuff. Between 4 and 5 is such a big jump for me. Yeah, so essentially, what they are showing is so you put on all your flat colors and you have like a basic rendering of like how you want it to look. and then you just add a ton of detail. It's just very small stuff, but it's a bit of a jump. I feel like they could have added like two more steps in just just in case. But that's why we start small. Let's have the color values. I'm sure because the mountains are quite far away. So range is small, cannot comprehend. Need step by step. Yeah. So one thing I can give a tip on the further. So I think values are like one of the most important things. Thanks for the fruit, Dave. So when you do coloring, you see my values are very like desaturated for the furthest things, which is a good like it's good to keep your stuff desaturated for how far it goes. And so okay, let me get a better explanation for this. Usually shadows tend to be more saturated and darker colors, while light stuff and things far away get more desaturated and sometimes a bit lighter, but it can also be dark. But just the saturation, like the your levels of hue from saturation value. Sorry, my wording is terrible. Your values from desaturated to saturated is very important, especially for distance and contrast. If you want like shadows, you will usually have them saturated and dark, especially if they're close. If things are far away, they tend to be desaturated and sometimes a little bit lighter. You'll notice this if you look at like mountains far away and stuff like that. We're gonna watch you speed drawing together. Yes. You know what, let's change the music to something more fitting to this mood. I will try my best to explain these things, but my brain when it comes to explanation is very terrible, especially if I don't have it like written out or properly worded. So I do apologize. I'm gonna try and see what I can do to get this looking nice. English is hard. Yeah, I know. Mona's like, never apologize. Hey, okay. Hey. Also, I think one thing that is very nice, especially for renderings, is if you use not a very hard brush, like a brush that you can layer up upon. 'Cause now I already have texture on my mountain without having to like put it there specifically. The brush just does it for me basically. Techniques I've learned from watching Bob Ross. Uh, Also, English is my second language. Even though I would say fluent, I am fluent in English. I did like practice hard and studied hard to be able to talk English quite fluently. But sometimes some words just escape me, and I'm like, brain cannot compute because my brain thinks in two languages. It thinks in Afrikaans and it thinks in English, and sometimes things don't work well. Oh, thank you. I remember when I worked at my dad's coffee shop. I was 15, 16, and so on. That I would regularly get compliments from like tourists to be like, "Oh wow, your English is so and so well." Thank you. it was very nice to hear because it was very it gave me a bit of a confident boost. Oh wow, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And it also helped that in I worked because I worked in Cape Town for a long while. Um I had to speak English in my workplaces. Like I didn't have a single workplace where I could just speak Afrikaans. Um there was if obviously there were a few people in the studios that also were like Afrikaans and could speak Afrikaans. So we would now and again just have like fun chats and things. But yeah, in general, like it's always nice to have people that speak similar languages or can like communicate with like. And that's also I think one reason I wanted to learn English very well is because I want to be able to communicate with people properly. I think so far the tones and values are working quite well. They're really good. I sound like I mix three variations of English and make a sound. Hey, to be honest, a lot of people like that in the sense of they like when they like wait, they like the accents. People really like accents, I've noticed. Especially like I think I've seen this with Shauna as well. I've seen many people commenting on her videos that they like the accent that she has, her Romanian accent with her English because it makes it gives her English and way of speaking character. So that's why I'm like, you guys should really not underestimate like your accents because people do like foreign accents because it makes you sound more interesting. You sound more because you sound different, not in a bad like in a good way. You sound different in a good way because it's things ways people haven't heard either a language being spoken or the accent is just very appealing, like it just sounds nice, or you can make like that's why like let's say take Japanese for example. When you have Japanese people talking English, yes, it sounds sometimes it sounds like they mock it and say it's English sounds funny, but they can if you know how to use it, utilize it, like make telling jokes and saying like curse words, it makes it even more funnier. So it actually works in your advantage. I have US and UK spoken words, an easier European accent. I sound like a questionable Russian. Accent in English add a lot of character and make exactly, exactly. If I were to speak with the typical South African English accent, I would sound very weird, and not again not in a bad way. I think there's a lot of African YouTubers that have popped off recently as well. They're doing very well, and you can hear the Afrikaans accent bleeding through. Okay, I need to think for the tree. They won't really be green. Maybe they're like a the middle ground. Let's go to first. Um, Especially like if I think one of my favorite English accents or like accents in English is like the Irish and Scottish accent. I don't know why. I just like it. I like it a lot. It's very funny. Like it's not just funny, but I find it very appealing and like unapologetic in a way that I don't know. I just find it very I wouldn't say attractive, more appealing in a way. If that makes sense. I see. There. I think it stands out more than other. Yeah, yes, it does. I still find it funny. Like I laughed so hard the first time I heard when I think South Africa at one point, 1 year, we won sexiest accent, which was hilarious. Because for me, I'm like, is it really that like? Is the Afrikaans accent really that like appealing or attractive? But I just found it very funny. Have you seen the videos of people speaking English then switching to Russian English or Japanese English? Yes, I have. Some of them are very funny. The one other funny thing I saw is a dude speaking Japanese with an with an Afrikaans accent, and it surprisingly didn't sound bad. I was like, oh yeah, it actually sounds quite similar. I've recently I think I said this on Saturday. I've recently rewatched or starting to rewatch. I'm rewatching. There we go. I'm rewatching Konosuba, and at first I watched the dub because I was watching it with some friends. Dave was also there. Um, and then I went over to the sub again, and I remember now why I like this sub a little bit more. Is because the delivery of how like the comedic moments and how they freak out, which is so good. The dub is not bad. I will not like dub is for Konosuba is really not bad, and the voice actors do a pretty good job of trying of like almost reaching the same level. But damn, the sub is just so funny. Also, I think one thing that happens with dubs recent that I've noticed recently that annoys me slightly is they tend to add like very like English slang into the dubs, which I feel like doesn't work well. I think what's it? Reincarnate as a slime does this a lot. And that's one thing that annoyed me a lot of the dub. Because I felt like, listen, why are you throwing in these like modern day hip daddy o slang? You know, I was like, it's just very cringy. I did not like it when he does that in the dub. So I kept watching the sub. Hey Ollie, how you doing? How's your weekend? How was your day? You having a good time? You having a good day? Hold up, I'm sleepy. Brain not braining. English not English. Doing good. I am doing. I have a bit of a rough morning, but I have a bit of a morning, and now I'm just going about it. And I finished two more emotes, and now I am busy with growing the splash art further. Weekend's been alright. My weekend has been good. I I wouldn't say it's the most productive weekend, but it was a good weekend. Yes, I think actually it was productive in the sense I rest. I rested more this weekend than I normally do, so I think it was still productive in another way. Resting is also part of being. Don't rest. You can't get things done. Yeah, those are. Okay, she does mostly flat color. Maybe I should just do the flat colors first instead of adding the texture and edit textures later. What? What happened? Did you save? Didn't save, did you? Oh no. Mona's a Mona's software crashed. Editing software crashed. And she doesn't remember how long ago she saved. Yeah, I think I should just start with the flat values. I got oi oi oi. Mona, rule one of is it okay? Okay, did it auto save? Okay, so before it breaks again, just save it. And also put up maybe an auto save just in case, like every few minutes. You'd go to the general preferences. Should be there. You can also Google it if you find it. Then you should see an auto save somewhere. No, that is your RAM. It should say auto save. You can say every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, depends on how quickly you work. If you do a lot of work in 5 minutes, I would say 5 minutes. If it takes you 10 minutes to do the 5 minutes of work, I would say every 10 minutes. Try to do control as every 5 seconds, even if it's one line to draw. Yep. Luckily, Krita, I must say, Krita and Blender, I've said this before, as the best feature. If your Krita or Blender crashes, you know what it does? It has a version ready for you just before it crashed. Which I wish more programs would do, but I think it's mostly a Python program thing. Yeah, yeah. If you don't save enough, it crashes. But I love Krita. The Krita has saved me so much headache when it came to like crashes and stuff. Because yes, it's still like it's an open source program. Every single software can crash. I don't think there is a foolproof crash proof software out there. I would have loved it if there were, but sadly there isn't. How do trees are about like this darkish, maybe a bit more blue. Yeah, a bit more blue. Can't stay long. Gotta run some errands today. But in case you're done streaming when I'm back, yes, okay. You take care, Ollie. Be safe. Drive safe if you're driving. Walk safe if you're walking. Good luck with the errands. What happened? Oh no! Don't just say oh no. What happened? Oh, yeah, mine is still learning the software, so I have to sit and help on again. I think she is using Premiere Pro at the moment. Yes, it's also the software I use at studios and stuff. So yes, I know it's Adobe, and we don't really like Adobe, but sometimes you just gotta use something. Like I like DaVinci, but the problem with DaVinci is it is just I don't know, it's not as nice to work in, and it's a bit rough. Where with um my brain, Blender has been getting close to Adobe in terms of their compositing and video editing. So maybe one day we can just all just go over to Blender to do that. Yep. Yep. The thing is, it's not that we hate the software itself, is we hate the practice that Adobe does with their software. Like they tend to break a lot of stuff. They tend to update things that no shouldn't be updated. They ruin the pricing models and things. So it's less the software and more the company. Because also there's like almost no alternative, like proper alternative to After Effects. And that's the software I was like specialized in to work with. And it was so annoying that there wasn't a proper like alternative. There's one on browser that's very similar to After Effects. It works very well, but isn't there yet for like proper professional capacity. But we're getting there. There are things are coming out. People are moving more and more to open source, which I am so happy it is. I am so damn tired of struggling with Adobe's nonsense. But in the meantime, we're using Adobe. Yeah, it's also easier. Like if you work like in a studio capacity. So Mona and I both, because I also edit some of her stuff. Using Adobe is easier because then we can just share the file. And then we just share the folders that we use, and then it's just easier to work that way. There's also one way we worked with Adobe that was very cool because Adobe fetches files from like a folder source, right? That's how Adobe works. So all their software works. So if you have a server where all your clips and footage and assets get put into, everyone as long you only have to share the project file, and make sure that your things are named similarly in terms of like where the server drive is and all that stuff. And then you can just open the file with no problems. And the file size can still be small because all the actual files used is still on the hard drive. So it saves you a lot of uh, folder space. Like there's a reason why Adobe has been an industry standard software for so long. But I just feel like the people in charge of Adobe are just getting dumber and dumber by the day in terms of how they're running the company and making it for consumers. Because if you are a single person, you have to pay a quite a relatively pretty penny in order to afford like their suite. And if you just want to pay for one software, it's actually shoots you in the foot. This is annoying. But that's why I try to be open source as much as possible. But I'm just too used to working with those software that it's hard for me to move to a different one. I'm just that more efficient with it. I'm gonna have to take a solid week to learn a new editing software just so I am on the same level of efficiency as I am with even After Effects. And here's an idea for Adobe: if they ever feel like running multiple software is too much, just merge Adobe and After Effects and Premiere Pro. Like make it so that you have like as Blender does, you have your different like tabs. Even Affinity does this. If you're different tabs, if you're vector tab, if you're raster tab, and you have so then you can have your After Effects tab and your compositing tab. I think that will be a lot easier to work with and will actually make it so that you only have one software you have to pay for that can do both things you wanted to do, making it a better value for your customers. But then if you're gonna go and overcharge them, then you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot because it's dumb. You don't need to overcharge people for stuff. What am I doing for them? Maybe two purple. There we go. That's better. I have to go now. Have a good stream. Thank you, Muse. You have a wonderful day further. Get some rest when you can. Don't overwork yourself. thank you for being here, man. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate. Always appreciate when you guys support. Not blue or maybe that's right. Nice. Okay, now rocks. This And then it breaks you. I feel like maybe I need to copy the floor and have stairs. I don't see the of the like this. Yeah, I think I Oh, thank you for the hydrate here. Ah, and the bunk. Cottage. Blubber. I think this works color wise. We're moving to more. The waters, though, I need to check. I'll have to see you follow Bob Ross. Oh, you know that actually maybe we should do that on the Saturday streams, like drawing with Bob Ross. Then we also actually follow along an actual Bob Ross video. I do know they're streaming on Twitch as well. I think Twitch did show a thing where you can like combine viewers in the sense of like, so if you're watching another stream, if it's like a broadcast or something, you can actually like have the viewers count towards both because technically everyone's watching along with it, but they're watching along with the streamer that's like watching it as well. So I'm very curious how that works. I'll have to do some research, but that actually sounds like a nice thing to do. So we actually follow the Bob Ross video. And his things are not really tutorials as much as they are literally just draw along. So he just he gives advice stuff as he's painting. But the whole thing is just like so it used to be a thing where you can take your canvas, sit in your living room with a canvas in hand, TV in the front, and you just follow along as he is painting. Actually, wonder how many people actually did that with in the living room. I just looked on YouTube. There is a live stream going on with Bob Ross, and yeah, so it's also I think it's probably also on Twitch actually. Check because I know the family of Bob Ross they keep streaming or broadcasting his stuff. Yes, it is still streaming till like it's still even still going on now. I don't think they ever end stream. Oh, hold on. Oh my word. They made a game called Bob Ross Tycoon. Oh my word. They are really this is a podcast on like oh I see, it's a weekend marathon. So it's been streaming for 21 hours now. Well, I mean to be fair, Nero, the man is not living with us anymore. They're just all they're doing is they're rebroadcasting these old videos that they've recorded. Sadly, he passed away in 1995. So 5 years before I was even born, passed away. But it's crazy. The man left such a legacy behind. That even like yeah, it's already been 20 years. 20 years. 30 years? 30 years. Yeah, it's been 30 years. 30 years after he is gone, and people still know him. Crazy. Even though he's gone, he's still providing for his family as well. That's insane. Like I think that's a really it's amazing the fact that the things he did is still accessible to everyone. He was very good at what he was doing and still inspires people. Exactly. That's very whole. Yeah, it is. Really is. And the funny thing is, like, one of my lecturers, even though they loved Bob Ross as a person, they didn't like his art that he did. And I'm like, why? Like everything he taught is like based on like actual art principle as well, but he brought the joy of art. That's something that I don't think many artists can um can get credit to because he did such a good job of just making art not just accessible. I was on the hold on, actually no, I'm making my life harder. He didn't just make art accessible, he made it fun. And I think that is something really that is amazing. So I know of too many lecturers or teachers. I think I had good lecturers, but I know of people that talk to me about lectures that they had for like fine arts and stuff. They just took their art so seriously that there was no breathing room to for creativity and fun. Exactly. And some people are just really like stuck up, man. Seriously. Making art is supposed to be a fun experience. It's supposed to be something people can all enjoy. And even if people say, oh no, but they can't draw, anybody can draw. It's a matter of time, effort, and just practice. Some can draw easier than others because others just have the talent, like the brain just figures it out easier. But that shouldn't discourage you from trying. I think that's the biggest thing. The quality of the art pieces varies from person to person. Yes, exactly. And that's why like I am not comparing myself to others anymore. I have made that thing like I'm not gonna compare. I am my own artist. I do things differently. My brain works differently. But what I rather do is when I look at other people's artwork is what can I learn from their artwork I can apply to mine? What is something that they're doing that works very well that I can learn from? Because I either like a way the artwork is rendered, I like the either the way the artwork is composited, or how the composition is like flowing. That's how you should be viewing others' artwork. Not, oh no, this person draws so amazing. I will never be able to catch up. Why would you want to catch up? Draw your own work. Be your own artist. Figure out what works for you, what you enjoy doing. Like I find the guilty pleasure of drawing, like painting strand by strand. I will do this and color in an entire block because I like doing that. I do like now I just fill in the colors and use the full bucket tool because it's faster. I don't want to waste too much time. But if I had the time to do what I wanted, I would just literally color everything in by hand because I like doing that. And have you seen the person that made painting with literal blobs of paint? Yes. Yes, I did. And that's again, it's very creative. I can just imagine that that was very expensive painting because paint ain't cheap. I don't know if you guys have seen how much paint costs. That's why digital art is extremely popular now because it's even though like yeah, a tablet can be expensive, but if you know you're going to like either do the hobby every day or do it as a job, then yeah, you will not mind paying for it because like my digital tablet is probably only like 3 years worth of like high-end paint. So, yeah. And I can this tablet is going to last me easily like years upon years because these tablets last long. Genuinely do. I'm really surprised how long some people still have their old Wacom Cintiqs that they got in like in 2000 or like well not 2000 but you know what I mean. Like they got it so many years ago and they still use them to this day because they just work. All the new stuff is nice. Like some of them are just track better, are faster, but if you can do the work, it works. If Minecraft taught me something, is that I can make my own dye. Yes, you can actually. If you want to make green dye, you can get some leaves. If you want to make blue, you can get some blue flowers. So if you're really someone that wants to like have everything handmade by yourself, you can literally just grow yourself a garden with different color plants and then use the plants to make yourself paint. Oh, I did not block it off completely. That's right. Wait, a YouTube channel where they grow their dye. Imagine, imagine. I mean, it's really doable. I've seen a few YouTube videos where they show how they make their paint for like artworks and stuff. One guy literally made green paint by just taking a bunch of leaves and stuff and washing it and then mixing it with oils and things and boom, he had green oil paint. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's literally that simple. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, greenhouses are also a thing. So if you're worried about, oh no, my plants aren't going to survive for this season, you can have a greenhouse. You can then cultivate the environment you want for your plants. I just noticed this is very. Hmm. Oh wait, these are the lantern. I have to read. For the lanterns, will be very bright orange lights, like that. I'll probably draw in some more detail on these lanterns because I do think I probably just rushed them a little bit. Because I have the color down now. Also, I'm at the point where my brain works at less than 50%, so English keeps getting worse and worse. Yeah, don't worry too much, Nero. You can take a you can rest. You don't have to overexert yourself. I cannot rest because I got oof. I mean, if you have a moment to like take a power nap, it's a 20-minute nap. I think that will be good to do. But they can be dangerous in the sense if you are someone that can't wake up from an alarm, ish, good luck. Because I don't think that's gonna work for you then. But if you can wake up from an alarm, I would say a power nap is a very useful tool. It's just to get in some extra energy. That enough, I can do most I can do is 10 minutes, and even that is sketchy. Yeah. I remember in school I would always I would always doze off, and they make this joke that I'm catching fish because my head would go back and forth, bobbing up like up, trying to stay awake. We can use some of the color values here. So those are the highlights, shading. Let's do more of the shaded color. Exactly. It's just wrong color, wrong layer. I have this running joke. Whatever I do, however much caffeine I drink, I don't get any energy. Me from 5 years ago received that energy. That's how little energy I have. My word. I swear I have a mix of ADHD and sleep deprivation. I feel you, dude. I feel you. I remember the day I got diagnosed with ADHD. Everything just made so much more sense to me. I got diagnosed in primary school. I was um I was failing in Afrikaans, funny enough, because I just couldn't focus in the class. I had 45%. I was and usually in your home language you need 50% to pass. So I was not doing very well. And so my teacher called in my parents like, listen, something is not right. Your son is struggling a lot to focus in class. Some you need to like figure out what's going on. And my mother went to she went to a friend who was also like a teacher. He like ran an entire school. And so she went to my mother went to her and everything, and they asked like, listen, can you maybe help us to figure out what's going on? And she's like, oh, your kid just has ADHD. Like, what? And so she gave me what is called wait, is my model not tracking? Oh my word. Apple, please. So okay, my freaking iPhone decided, no, I need an update. I have not updated. So I'm gonna stop your application that you're working with, and I am going to not track anymore. Anyway, back I was uh, getting sidetracked. So she gave me what is called brain gain therapy, which is essentially so it's a you train your brain is a muscle, right? So you can then train your brain to focus, and that was the whole point of the thing. It's actually a very fun therapy because it's literally just you go in, they strap the sensor to your brain, not your head. So you have the sensor on your head, and then you start watching a movie. And as soon as you lose focus, the movie pauses. So the application tracking and monitoring pauses the movie. Then you have to regulate your breathing and start counting. And by doing that over and over again, I think I did it for like a few months, I was actually able to focus. So I can now like just go into a mode of focus when I want to, which helped a lot. So I didn't have to go onto the like your typical my English. I didn't have to go onto medication. And this, again, it doesn't get rid of the symptoms of having ADHD. All it does is it helps you to manage it. because you train your brain like, listen, I want to focus now, so you will focus, and that helped me a lot to get things done. And if I want, that's why like if I go silent, sometimes it's me just focusing, breathing, so I know what I'm doing, and then I continue on. Because the the medication helps for ADHD. I have a few friends that use it, helps them a lot, but I I am not fond of um having people push it that the only solution for ADHD is having to be on medication, because that's medication has side effects, and I do not like those side effects. If I can manage my condition, it's not a disease, it's just our brains work differently. But if I can manage it without needing medication, I will do it that way. I haven't been diagnosed yet. I did get diagnosed with something else that was more nasty, but I do have a feeling I have some sort of ADHD, OCD stuff going on. You know what? I would not be surprised in the sense of like a lot of people a lot of people have gone through their life without getting diagnosed. Like, and it's yeah, and it's funny enough, a lot of people they don't have ADHD, and then as soon as they leave school, for some reason they do, but then that's less to do with actually having ADHD and just having anxiety, which or other like something else that can give you the similar symptoms as ADHD. Because it's also like either your brain is not coping with your current environment, or there's so many different things that can be the reason as to why your brain is behaving as the way it does. And I'm not like a doctor professional, I'm just someone who grew up with it and was diagnosed. So I would definitely say if you are curious, if you have ADHD, it was always good to go and get yourself tested from an actual licensed doctor and someone that does proper licensing. So yeah, because at least if you, as soon as you know what you have, then you know how to treat it. You know how to manage it. You know how your brain works. You understand yourself just a lot better. I did want to get tested at some point, send some messages, but the person I reached didn't send text back, so I kind of just think I didn't think much and then forgot about it. Yeah, so online diagnosis is very sketchy. I do not like these online diagnoses because they a lot of people can okay, so I don't know if you've ever heard of that thing where if someone wants a condition bad enough, their brain will fake it so that they get the answer that they want, if that makes sense. There's so many people that have come out that say, "Oh, I have ADHD" and stuff like that. But when you actually look and like then an actual like when they actually went to a doctor to like get an actual diagnosis, like certificate and everything, the doctor was like, "You don't have it." Your brain has just been faking it. And then they're like, what? And then they stop having the symptoms because either so many of them were just overstressed and anxious, so their brain just had similar symptoms. That's why I was like, so if you want to get diagnosed, see if there's a doctor in your area or a psychologist or someone who like specialize, not just necessarily specializes, but knows it, has like is an idea, or not just an idea, knows what they're doing, and then get a to do a physical like test where you go. Ah, yes, the googly eyes. Thank you for the googly eyes. Now I can really look into the details. I got bonked. Hi, Range. Welcome back. How you doing? Are you moving? Are you cold with my brain? I am struggling today with words. Yes, I are back, and not gonna lie, my two brain cells have left the building. Yeah, I feel like mine are slowly leaving the building as well. So basically, I got in touch with a psychologist I had a while back. She gave me the number of a person that specializes in that stuff, but then I didn't receive anything from the specialized person, so I was like, eh. Yeah, it is dumb that they didn't get back to you. That's actually a little bit unprofessional, I'm not gonna lie. But if you can find someone else, they don't have to necessarily specialize as long as they have a track record and experience with like ADHD, diagnosing it, either giving treatment or like medication stuff. Again, I would try as much as possible to look for alternatives to medication, as medication can get costly unless you live like in a country where it's like they just give it to you for free because socialized healthcare must be nice. Um, but if you want long term solution, I would definitely recommend a um training therapy. So like I said, like the brain gain is one we had. I'm not sure what they're called overseas, but I would definitely look into getting that type of treatment if you are diagnosed to and you're like, okay, I have ADHD, I need to and I'm struggling with it. Like if you can't manage your ADHD, like if you're someone that really struggles with it, I would definitely recommend doing something like brain gain or the brain training. It helped me a lot. I give you an idea, I've went from a 45%, getting 45% in class to getting distinction, so getting above 80. Because I was not dumb, I'm not stupid. I just couldn't focus. And as soon as I did that therapy, I could focus so well in class that I just literally listened properly what's happening in class and I didn't have to study as hard. Also, I my mother also took me to like a study expert. So she teaches kids how to study and how to get them to like have the information stay in their brain. For me, I think it's more about the curiosity rather than yeah. So I would rather it seems like you manage yourself very well. So I think even just if you want to know like okay, do I actually have it or not? Do I have something else like OCD or whatever? I would definitely recommend just getting a test. Get yourself tested so you, at least then you know what you have. Because it's less about saying, "Oh, do I have ADHD?" and more of like, "Okay, um, do I have anything at all?" like that's just it's just more of a yeah, like you said, more of a curiosity thing. Honestly, I don't. That's going. Yeah, if I didn't get the brain therapy, I would not have been able to pass school at all. I had very severe ADHD. I could not sit still. I always had to fidget. I could not. I it literally like I had ADHD at the point where my ADHD gave me anxiety. And I think now I have a good balance on it. I live on 37 hours of ish. I mean, the 6 to 7 hours is good. You can actually live on that. That's for especially if, like for men. Men can live on 6 to 7 hours of sleep. Um, Women is recommended 8 to 10. That's what I remember from a study that came out like not too long ago. Can't remember the name of the study though, so don't quote me. You can look it up. And if I'm wrong, please correct me because I don't like being. I don't like. I'm less worried about being wrong and more worried about being incorrect. I'm a person that I don't mind being wrong. I just like to be correct. In high school, I lived on two. My guy, that's not healthy. You're like aging like rapidly when you do that. I think you should probably give Mona a towel. Towel. 'Cause technically, I do cover most of that with my character, but I'm an insomniac, so it comes with yeah. I do know insomnia is a very very rough thing to deal with. I now know a few people with insomnia, so I may not be able to relate to the insomnia thing, but I can imagine it's not nice. For the last year of high school, I survived off an energy drink and croissant in the morning. Oh my! Let me put it for you even worse. First week of finals, my first year, I was awake for 10. Yay, yay, yay. Honestly, I'm glad at least you did get past all the stuff from high school and uni, because that just sounds awful. Not being able to sleep. I think the colors work, the base colors. I'm also wait. I wish I could have that. I'm also happy, but I'm more confused as to how the hell I'm. Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. You really need to look. You take care of yourself. Crazy. Not being able to sleep caused a lot of problems for me. I still haven't recovered honestly, but I deal with them slowly. And I didn't come to terms that something will never be fixed and it's just part of me. That will be me now. I just call it slight glitch in my chemistry. Yeah. And maybe down the line, someone finds a solution to help with insomnia and those things. And I do know a lot of people use sleeping pills, but those are very dangerous. And I've known too many people that have either, you know, OD'd or just, it goes wrong. And that's why a lot of people are very cautious with like sleeping medication and making sure you only take the right amount because it's crazy how dangerous those sleeping pills can get. Can't use the meds, don't work. Oh, damn. That is very interesting. By the way, update on the layout, kinda halfway. Nice. At least you're making progress. I don't know how much more yet, but some basics are complete. That's good. Damn fly here in my group. Gone. I'm working on the 3D models and stuff and making animation. Hey, let's go. Some off topic question. Do you take commissions? I am open for them. Um, I actually maybe need to I want to make a Discord where people can put in their commissions because I need to start doing stuff so I can earn a bit more money. I am me because I don't have a full time job at the moment. So I mostly take freelance work here and there. But I think I've been trying to focus more on the streaming stuff lately, just get it going more. But yes, I am open for commission. So if you have something you want me to do for you, please let me know. I am. Yeah, I will probably just discuss pricing with you that way. See something that figure out what's works for everyone pricing wise, because I am not that word brain work with me, please. In terms of coming to like pricing, I am not that 100% sure on what to ask, but I am more like so currently I'm just negotiating prices. So, yes. I actually want to make a because I want to make a commission sheet that I can post on Twitter as well as like make because I want to make a card. I had a card website, but for some reason I can't access it anymore. I don't know why. I just can't. And so I need to make a new one scratch now. But I think it's good because then I can like make it very nice and yeah, just very nice. Okay, because I might look into commissioning a more detailed model that I have. Okay. It looks like the model commissions are really sought after. I'll definitely look into it. I'm also if you let's say you find a customizable model that you have like that you really like, I can always do the texture editing as well with like you edit the texture so the model looks more to like your design that you want it to. I can do that as well. Yeah, so just let me know. Because currently I have so I'm using Mona's model, but hers is less of a commission and more of a project that I'm working on because I'm like figuring out workflows and stuff. I'm back with sugar, so I don't fall asleep. Okay, nice. Um, so with Mona's model, because her model is like a high end model. I'm trying to see how many features and things I can put into that thing, make it like really like stand out. I will do or might ask for a character sheet of a current model that I have. Okay, I can do that as well. Yeah, I am liking this so I think this is coming out very nice, especially color wise. Background cottage. Erase that. Uh, quick question: why are you in the hot spring? I am keeping people away from peeping. Yes, I am keeping them, the ones that are trying to see if they can sneak a peek and just chase them off. that's the that's the gag. Because I am Mona's advisor slash best friend, and she picked me up in the forest. Like, you are my friend now. I am taking you home. You have no say in this. Then where's the gun or the hammer? Actually, that sounds funny. I might add something like that. Not gonna lie, it's really. Oh, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Because I need to get back in the groove of doing like actual artwork, coloring, that stuff. Which is I can do a model because a model is I think a little bit more simplistic and you do everything like in bits and pieces. But doing like a splash art and things like that, compositions and things like that, I need to step up my game a bit because I haven't done these type of artworks in ever. I mean, it's funny enough. At first, I always wanted to be a concept artist before I became an animator. But I just loved animation so much. I was like, oh wait, I can do this as a job. I'm gonna do it. Sadly, the reality in South Africa was there's not really that many like animation studios, and if you want to get into them, it's so difficult. So yeah, I went indie basically, like one of those toy hammers that squeak. That would be funny. And I think the only problem is now is I'm gonna have to probably move my character to do that because otherwise I might cover Mona up too much. I'll literally sleep on it and think about that. If it's same industry but had to swap to ensure I have income so far, I'm really that's good. I'm glad you found your found your place because it was really disheartening for me. Like, my first job I had was really a good one, and I tried getting a permanent position there, but due to South Africa being very, I don't know, weird, it didn't really, it didn't pan out. 'Cause I think I worked there for 5 months. Then we had a big economic dip that happened because it was even still like during COVID, or just as COVID, yeah, just yeah, still during COVID, and so we had a big economic dip that happened in South Africa, and then they just couldn't keep on a bunch of us that were like trying to get the permanent position. We were a bunch of freelancers trying to get the position, and yeah, sadly they could not keep me. They did try a lot to help me get another place, but for some reason, all the studios were just very hard to get into. Like they didn't want to really hire people, and then like eventually I got some work here and there, and then I got a nice other place I worked with. Salary wasn't that amazing, but at least it was still like great people to work with. Might have to change the pupil. Like it's like thank you for the alert, Nero. Yeah, before my current job, I had applied alone to maybe 500 Yes, exactly. Why do we have to apply to so many? Like, why are so many of the jobs not really there? Like, I don't understand this. You can apply to like you apply to more than 100, and then only maybe one out of the 100 replies back. It is crazy. It makes no sense. And the funny thing, I've looked it up. So apparently, there's a thing called the ghost job market. So essentially, how it works is these companies can get in trouble if they're not actively hiring or they're not like meeting a specific amount of people to fit their like uh company size. But instead of actually hiring someone, they just put out a job application or like a job search or whatever. Yeah, I think it's an application. They put in an application and then they just never fill the role. But when as soon as the government's like, "Hey, listen, you need still need more people," like, "Oh no, we're actively searching for someone. We're searching for someone. Don't worry." It is messed up. And if you find a company that does that, that still haven't filled a role, and it's usually easy to see. It's usually if there's the same role or application open for like I think it's like more than 3 months, then you know for a fact that they are doing that with having the ghost application. And you can actually report them. So if you do find a company that is doing that, please report them to your local government of like, of course, like because it's fraud. It's a form of fraud because they get subsidies and stuff from governments. Like, hey, well, we are, no, we're definitely hiring. We're definitely hiring. Yes, we are. And then They don't. It is really messed up. One of my coworkers at my old job actually came from a place that did that, where they were like, "Oh yeah, no, we're not really gonna fill the role. We're just saying this so we can keep getting like some government incentives." It's crazy. And then there are people that are struggling to get jobs because they just don't do that. This I need to. That type of thing. Yeah, it does. It's really messed up. And I was really frustrated when I heard that because that just meant that out of like the thousands of applications you send, the chances of you actually getting the work was so low. And again, it's not like there's not any jobs, but it's like you need to now figure out which ones of the jobs are actually real jobs you can apply for. It's not these, oh, we are saying we are having an application open, but we don't really have an application open type of thing. And the thing is, it is illegal. It is actually illegal to say that you're hiring and then you're not hiring people. Really messed up. I was able to walk to my local video store and ask if they have a part-time jobs, and they gave a straight up answer on the spot. Don't like the mental hoops I need to jump. Yeah, like I miss those days because I remember when I was first looking for a job. My dad was like, "Oh, just go out and like send your resume, like give it to like the stores and stuff." You can't do that. You know what they do when you give your resume like that? Well, not all of them, but some of them do. They throw your resume in the dustbin. I don't. It's like, oh no, you need to apply online. Like, it's so dumb. They've made things so unnecessarily complicated and dumb. Like, just yeah, I don't want to continue ranting on this, but yeah, it is sad. And I do hope that we get back to a way that it's easier to get jobs again, where it's not like this weird gymnastics that everyone has to play just to get jobs again. There are so many talented people in this world that really deserve to just have the job, and they just don't get it. And it's sad, it's frustrating, but we will look at the positives. And there are many different ways of now earning income, doing things differently, and hopefully things work out. I always hope things work. Yes, I think it actually might. I think things will genuinely start getting better in the future. With well, first things have to get bad before it gets good, because then people know where they can and what they can and can't do. But I think things are gonna get better at some point. People are gonna come to their senses. They're not gonna like tolerate it anymore. Where like people just, especially companies, do like these nonsense. So yeah, let's keep the hope. How long have I been streaming? Almost 4 hours. I do notice this ear is very thick, very thick outline for an ear. So I'm just gonna trim the ear down. That hmm, the ear is a bit wonky. Technically, the ear would be more. I think that's a bit better. I need to look at ears, man. Yes, I've seen the new mini golf game. It looks actually quite fun. Here's an ear there. It looks really fun. I just haven't really gotten to. I don't think I've. No, I don't think I've bought it now. I would love to play it though. It does look very fun. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, it looks very fun. I will admit that. I think this is a good place to end the splash art for now. Got all the base colors down. Next time we can do then go to the next step where it's adding more details and things. I just see many compilations of funny. Yes, it really do as well. Actually, let's see how much it costs. That's the only problem with like I think streaming games is you have to buy every single game, and it gets expensive. Even if it's small, even like if it's a bunch of small games, it still rack up quite a bit. So Super Battle Golf, it is actually not that expensive. Buy golf your enemy. One or two items and bundles already in your library. Buy this bundle to save. Hey, I can actually get it for cheaper by buying the bundle. You know what? I might as well just get this. It's not that expensive. I might as well just get it. It'll be a fun collab stream to do with everybody. Okay, I think I'm gonna start looking at someone who we can raid. I've been streaming for almost 4 hours, and I need to start working on more other stuff like videos and also the models. I need to start with Puppet. I want to start with Puppet's model. Yes, we need to jam it. But I want to start with Puppet's model. I need to do the rough sketches for her model so that I can start actually designing it as well as rigging it. I need to hear how many features and things she actually wants for it. Um, and yes, see, because I can use that model for my portfolio as well. Let's see quickly who we can raid. There to raid. Good luck with. Yeah, I think it will work out. I hope for the best. Okay, so someone is making a VTuber model. I don't know what they're doing exactly. It's happy Monday, time to chill. There's a few people doing some stuff. There's also commission works. What are you guys feeling? You guys want to see how someone's rigging a model, or do you guys want to see someone drawing? Or are we gonna keep the train of rating people who are blue? Because there's another person that's blue. Blue. Okay, we go with the blue. So let's do them. Yeah, so they're doing some. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Who's this? There's another slime slash. They say, well, their name is Plum. Seth Plum. Let's share the love. Let's share the love. I'll throw a d20. I think we'll rate this person. This. There also looks like they're drawing some funny stuff. Okay, we're gonna rate them. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the wonderful support and the love. I'll see you guys tomorrow on another stream where we're gonna continue on with artworks, whatever. I'm gonna see if I can get the puppets thing ready. Maybe I can then start designing it tomorrow on stream as well. Yeah. Thank you for being here. I love you. I love all of you. Bless you. Bless your faces. And I will see you all tomorrow.